Hi, I'm Akiko Sudano from StampinInTheMeadows.com in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Today, I'm making a fall sunflower card with the beautiful Stampin' Up! Celebrate Sunflowers cling stamp set. I'm going to create an ombre background, starting with dark orange on the bottom, fading to light yellow on the top. To get this look, I'm using the Stampin' Up! Sponge Brayer, along with Cajun Craze, Pumpkin Pie, Bumblebee, and So Saffron inks. I'm starting by stamping my sunflowers in early espresso ink on a whisper white panel. I'll have all my cardstock sizes in my blog post that I link up in the description. I'll stamp 3 sunflowers on the panel. While the ink dries, let me take the time to show you the Stampin' Up! Sponge Brayers. You get 2 handles in a pack with 4 sponge rollers. The rollers are removable, and I'm using 1 roller for the oranges and 1 for the yellows. Here are my inks. Let's get started with the brayering. I ink up the brayer with short strokes on the Cajun Craze ink pad and starting off the panel and bringing it onto the panel, rolling the entire width. I have a scratch paper covering my work surface because I'm messy. The more you roll the brayer, the lighter the ink becomes. So I move it up the panel, and when I want some more dark ink, I roll it on the ink pad again. And I repeat the process until I'm happy with the results, keeping the darkest ink on the bottom. Now I'm moving on to the pumpkin pie ink, and I do the same thing. Only this time I start rolling over the areas that I've already colored with Cajun Craze ink. I still want the darkest color on the bottom. I'm amazed at how much richer the Cajun Craze ink looks as you go over it with the pumpkin pie. I'm going to add some more Cajun Craze to the bottom now. I switch back and forth between the 2 colors to get the shade that I want. I hope I'm not getting cross-contamination on my ink pads. I'll let you know. I've switched out the brayers and my scratch paper, and now I'm using Bumblebee and So Saffron inks. I repeat the process: short strokes on the ink pad, full strokes on the paper, and darkest shade on the bottom. I've done a lot of coloring with sponge daubers, but I really like the consistency and evenness of color that you get with the sponge brayer. And there's something relaxing and therapeutic as you watch the color build up. Finish with a little So Saffron on the top. All done. What do you think? Now let's do the label in So Saffron. The brayered Whisper White has a softer look than the So Saffron cardstock. I'm going to stamp the sentiment on the label using my Stamparatus. I've already got the stamp mounted, and I'll ink it up with early espresso ink. I'll adhere the label with liquid glue and trim the ends. Now adhere the panel to a gold foil mat. Make sure it's straight and press firm. Now I'm going to wrap this pretty gold trim around the panel just above the label and make a bow. And we need to make sure the bow is perfect. There we go. Now I'll adhere this dark wood grain designer series paper to the early espresso card base. It's from the In Good Taste designer series paper pack. And I'll pop the pretty ombre sunflower panel on the wood grain with dimensionals. And we'll finish it off with 3 metallic pearls. And the card front is all finished. Now I'll stamp the sunflower in the bottom corner of a whisper white panel for the inside of the card. And I'll add just a touch of color with the sponge brayer. I'm using the same colors as the front, just keeping it to the bottom of the panel. I'm also going to go up the side to cover the flower. Add just a touch of bumblebee. And we're done. Add Stampin' Seal and adhere the panel to the inside of the card. And that's my finished card. An orange and yellow ombre thank you card made with the beautiful Stampin' Up! Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set. Perfect for fall. I have a link to my blog post in the description where you can find all the sizes of cardstock and the link to the products I used. Thank you for watching.